5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys, you got more from KZOR. This guy's here from Cape Town. Listen, I want to do a second video today, but I want to do a general informative video. This time about certain concepts surrounding vaping. Alright, so I think the best way is to first show the activity of vaping. Alright, so the question you must ask now is, what exactly is that guy doing and how did he get to that point? Alright, so I think we need to start off by defining what exactly vaping is. Now, vaping is a human activity where you basically inhale and exhale vapor using a device called a vaporizer. Alright, so basically what we're doing is it's evaporation. What nature does through the process of evaporation, we do. Okay, just using different liquids and different gases which is going to be produced. But to be able to produce a vapor, you are going to need an electrical current which is going to supply the energy to convert a liquid into vapor. Right, so this little picture which you see on the screen there illustrates basically what happens. Alright, at school we all had general science. So I assume you guys are fairly clued up or familiar with the phases of matter, where you got your solids, your liquids and your gases. So when we do talk about vaping, we are using two of those phases, which is liquid and which is gases. Cool. All right. So the second thing which I think which is important for us to know is that if you have a look at the picture which you see on the side over here, that this specific device contains two major components. Whatever device you're going to use to vape is going to contain two components. You're going to have this little area over here, and that area is called an atomizer. This little structure over here is called an atomizer. Okay, so I can remove it. So put that on and remove it a bit quicker. So yeah, this little guy is called an atomizer. And they come in various shapes and types, but we'll talk about that just now. And this guy is called the mod. Alright, this is the device that is going to house the battery, which is going to supply the electrical current needed to convert the fluid which is inside this atomizer to a vapor. Alright, which you see over here. Nice. So neither of them is going to work without the other. I can press that button and nothing's going to happen. I can suck on this and nothing's going to happen. But as soon as I combine Romeo and Juliet with one another, boom shakala, a vapor is produced. Excellent. And that is a very enjoyable process. Alright. I know at science, because I'm a teacher, and I do not only educate kids in life sciences, but also natural science. And I know, because I teach, I know all of us, we did electricity at school, basic electricity. So whether you paid attention or not, there's some terms of electricity which is needed to understand inside vaping. So I just included this little small cartoon basically, which just gives you the basic idea of what some of these terms which we use in vaping is going to mean. So the terms of voltage, it's amps, resistance and wattage. Okay, those are terms which you're going to hear a lot in vaping, and terms which you're going to need to understand when you vape, and what type of device you vape, and what type of device you're going to buy to use it as your vaporizer. Alright, so if you look at the little sketch over there, you'll see that basically the voltage is just an indication of how strong electricity is pushed through a circuit. Okay, so that's volts. That's why you're going to see your batteries. your batteries is going to be your normal batteries. I know there's 1.5 volt batteries, you get 3 volt batteries, 4.5 volt batteries, etc., etc. All right, so you've got different voltage batteries. So when you hear the term voltage, which you will see normally on displays of your mod device, there's voltage. It's the indication of how strong the electricity, the flow of electrons is pushed through your circuit. Okay. What amps is just a measurement of the amount of electrons or the amount of electrical current that passes by a certain point in an electrical circuit. Alright, so that's amps. So you can see it on the sketch below there. And then resistance is any material, any object that slows down the flow of these electrons, okay, or this electrical current. And when you use this device, a atomizer device, what you're doing is inside this area over here, inside the atomizer part, you're going to have material which is wire, and that wire is going to slow down your flow of electrons. And when it slows down the flow of electrons, it causes friction, and that friction obviously is converted to heat, similar to when you're going to rub your hands together. All right, that's friction, and if you do it quick enough, you do it fast enough, it actually becomes warm, and that heats up the wire. And that energy, obviously, of the heating up is converted into heat energy and visible light energy as well. That's why you see your coils glow. So yeah, that's very nice, important for you to know those, or understand those little basic concepts. All right, now when you get to the wire which is inside, whether the wire is built into little structures like this called pre-built coils, okay, or whether you're going to use wire to build your own type of coils, which is over here, which is what I did. The thickness of the wire and the type of the wire determines the resistance which this specific conductor is going to have on your electric circuit. So the thinner the wire is which you're going to use, obviously the less resistance there's going to be on your electrical current, and that has some advantages. Obviously, your coil will heat up a lot quicker, for sure. Your vapor is going to, or your e-liquid's going to vaporize much quicker, so you will get a nice flavor, etc., etc., more intense flavor, and your vapor will be warmer. The downside is obviously is your battery is going to run out a lot quicker. All right, because you push through more volts through your circuit. So yeah, your batteries are going to get flatter. If you use a thicker wire with more resistance, the opposite's going to happen. Your coils are not going to heat up that quick, which means your flavor is not going to be is not going to have that intensity. Your vapor is going to be cooler, but your batteries are going to last a lot longer. So I will include in a link a very nice YouTube video which I came across where an Asian guy demonstrates or explains these terms of volts, resistance, ohms. Well, ohms is the unit of resistance, but amperes as well as wattage. Okay, so you're going to have a look at that link. It's very nice, it's very good. All right, so the next thing which I want to talk about is the shapes of your various atomizers or mods which you actually get. We'll talk about these atomizers later. Okay, I'm just going to remove mine so that you know we're not talking about these guys, we're talking about these guys. All right, so your mods come in various shapes and sizes. Now they're basically classified as 3 different types. You get your pen mods, okay, which you will see over here. That's where most of the vapors are going to start on. They're going to go into a tobacconist like I did, and they're going to buy a vape pen, which the most common one is obviously Twist, which most guys have heard of. Almost everyone has heard of that. I didn't have the money for a Twist that day, or when I started back in the day. And I say back in the day, I've only been vaping for about 8 months. Haven't touched a smoke since. Smokes suck, but and it's very bad for you. But I started on something which is called a Maxi, but that's a pen mod. But still the same basic 2 components. Okay, you've got an atomizer on the one side, and you've got a battery battery part on the other side. So yeah, so there's a picture of a few of these pen mods. The next thing which you get is mods which are called box mods. Now this is a typical box mod. Okay, this one, which actually houses batteries. There's a box mod. There's another example of a box mod. Okay, so that's a box mod. This is called a box mod. Okay, so besides your box mods, you get something called tube mods, and this mods like this. It's a simple tube, all right, and all of these devices, what they all have in common, they can house an atomizer. They've got an atomizer part, and they've got a part which contains the batteries. Okay, so that's concerning the shapes. Now, when you talk about the delivery of electrical current, your mods are divided into two subsections. You get mods which are mechanical mods, like this one. Mechanical mods have got zero circuitry in them. I mean, if I just remove this atomizer and I remove the base part, it's very simple. It's a nice and simple hollow tube. You'll see that it's very simplistic. It has got zero. This is just a button at the bottom with a battery. So what happens is when you push this button, that the little part over there on the inside, connector over there, is going to touch the negative side of my battery, and when I put on my atomizer at the top, that little pin is going to touch the positive side of my battery. But the thing is, there's no circuitry inside a mechanical mod, whether the mechanical mod's a tube mod or whether the mechanical mod is of the type of a box mod, of which you will see just a picture over here of that box mod mechanical device which I'm actually talking about. Now, you have to be very clued up, you have to be very experienced before you actually attempt using one of those regulated box mods. As I say, it's you cannot control the amount of volts, you cannot control the amount of wattage, you cannot control can I say, there's just so much less which you can control. So the chances of overheating is more likely to kick in with a mechanical mod, because there's no circuit which can actually protect you by regulating the flow of electric current or the delivery of electric current. Okay, so if you start up and you're not interested in a pen mod, you want to climb on because you see the big boys produce nice big clouds and stuff, get yourself a regulated mod. All right, until you know enough about vaping to move on to a mechanical mod. Okay, as I said, remember, these guys have got way better protections in them. Now, when I started vaping and I bought that Maxis, I was so impressed with the amount of smoke it delivered at that specific time, because remember, I didn't know any vapors. I'm the first guy at school that started vaping. I was driving to a rugby match and I was standing at a robot, and I remember there was this good guy in a old Ford Escort that's been pimped next to me, and I was very half, I was bietjie windgat geweest, and I took this Maxi vape pen of mine and I gave it a deep inhale and I blew nice little plumes of smoke. And this guy just watched me and he took out this mother. I still don't know what mod it is. As I said, that specific time I didn't know much. And this guy blew clouds. I felt so ashamed because my kid was with me. I felt slightly embarrassed. But in any case, now I don't have the problem anymore. Now I've got machines that blow nice big clouds, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so that's the difference between mechanical and regulated mods. So you get mechanical tube mods and mechanical box mods. So, but most of your mods which is regulated are only in the box mod format. Alright, so next thing is just the type of batteries. You'll see there's batteries inside these things. Now batteries can be loose. Okay, there's a couple of loose batteries over here of the same type, but they can be loose, or they can be like in this little device of mine. Okay, this guy's got an internal battery, okay, internal lithium battery. Okay, so various devices can have internal batteries, or as I said, they can have separate batteries. But if you just have a look at these batteries which are posted over here, these pictures, then you'll see there's basically three types of batteries which you're going to use in your various mods, of which the 18650 is the most popular of all those batteries. So there's a variety of those batteries which you can get. Okay, now when we talk about atomizers, now atomizers, as I said, is these blokes. Okay, this is an atomizer. All right, and you get a variety of these guys. Now I'll put in this picture over here just to sum it up for you, nice basically, because there's so many terms. You get terms like RBA, you get terms RD, ARTA, RDTA, and then you get sub-ohm tanks. So in any case, now this is my understanding of these tanks. Might be wrong about it, but I think this is generally the idea. Try to sum it up. So if you look at the picture, you'll see there's 4 classes. Now your sub-ohm tanks are normally tanks which use these little guys. Okay, they use these coils, which is made for you, pre-built for you, pre-made for you, and you just turn it into, you just screw it into your atomizer, and then you go. So you've got your juice inside there, you screw in that atomizer, and Bob's your uncle. All right, and those atomizers are all made to be less than 1 ohm, and that's why it is sub-ohm, a resistance of lower than 1 ohm. Okay, so that's sub-ohm tanks. Normally get at the spots as kits, but in any case, I don't use them, so I'm not too bothered about it. The second tank which you get, which I've got on my sketch, is the RTA. Now I don't have an RTA as well. I'm a dripper guy. I'm an RDA guy. I had RTAs in the beginning, but all RTAs is the R stands for rebuildable. The T stands for tank, and then the A stands for atomizer. Okay, so RTA, rebuildable, tank, atomizer. So yeah, you have got an area. If you look at the sketch, that sketch over there, you'll see there's a portion where you can actually put in your juice, fill your juice, and the capacities differ, 2.5 to 5 moles, but it's nice. You've got an atomizer which has got liquid inside of it, and the nice thing about it is it's rebuildable. That's what the R stands for. So which means some of them can actually use one of these pre-built coils, and then you've also got a special deck which you can swap out, which you can actually build your own small little coils using wire. All right, then you get the RDTA. Now the RDTA is supposed to be the best of both worlds, combined to get yourself a nice average. Now I've got an RDTA here. This is a little rig which I got myself, bought my wife, my sweetness. But this is an RDTA which you've got it in, and a nice drip tip from a local guy called Hans Jock. Right, but the whole idea behind that is that you have still got your tank portion, okay, which has got your e-liquid like the RTA. And if I remove this top part over there, you'll actually see there's my coils which I have built, and there's my wick, my cotton, which is going to absorb, which is going to suck up the liquid from this tank of mine. Okay, and because you've got a rebuildable section which is visible, as soon as I remove this cap, I can see my coils. That's what makes it an RDTA, the D part as well. So if I remove this drip tip, what I can do is you can see your coils inside there. So the idea is you can also drip on top of your coils. Okay, so it's got a tank and it's got the dripping capability, but you can see your coils. All right, that's an RDTA. Some petrol to go on, just some petrol. And then you get my favorites, is an RDA. It's the last one over there. That's that. Okay, there's another one over there. I've got 10 RDAs. I love my RDAs. And the thing is, why I like RDAs is, I know there's debate about it, but I feel the best flavor comes out of our RDA. It might not have the convenience of having a tank, which is a reservoir of e-liquid for you, but flavor-wise, I think RDA is still the best. So yeah, so it's a very simple concept, the RDA. So all you basically do is you just build your coils. There's no tanks involved. You put on your cap, which is obviously, in all of these things, got airflow. Air is very important. Okay, you need airflow. But yeah, and then you drip, and then you drip through the top. Okay, simple as that. I still see some people actually removing this and then dripping that. It's not necessary. You can just keep this on and drip through the opening over there, and then nice. Bob's your uncle. All right. Okay, so the last thing which I just want to talk about is when you build your own coils, is you get different types of wire. You get Canthal wire, you get nichrome 80 wire, you get nickel 200 wire, You get titanium wire, you get stainless steel wire. So these are all different wires, which you will see. There's an example of wire which I have. Okay, there's an example of Canthil pre-built coils. Okay, which I have. Here's little pre-built coils made from Canthil wire. So these different wires, which you have, they've all got different properties, and that's why people experiment with these different wires. Some of them are more durable than the others. Some of them have got a much better flavor. Some of them have got a lower resistance. Some of these wires are softer than the others, and then you can make coils a lot easier. So you get various types of wire. You must decide what wire is compatible with your palate, compatible with your olfactory cells and your taste buds, what gives you the best flavor. It differs from people to people. I like stainless steel. The reason why I like stainless steel is simple. It gives you great flavor, just as good as nichrome, and it is a lot more durable. It's the most durable wire out of the choices which I find for making coils. So yeah, I dig stainless steel. But I also like my nichrome 80. Okay, it's nice, soft, it's easy to work with, etc., etc. So you can go and check up on those wires and decide what actually suits you the best. Guys, so I hope that gives you a nice general idea of what exactly vaping is, and the difference between the various mods, how you can get started into vaping. But ask around, join a forum. The forum which I've joined is ecigssa, ecigssa. Alright, I'll post a link at the bottom over there. But join those forums and go and ask the guys who know what is going on. I've posted a few videos on do-it-yourself as well. So if you've got your little pen vape mod, and you're tired of buying a juice because juice is expensive, I've put tutorials on of how to make your own e-juice as well. So hopefully this was helpful. If you've got any questions or comments which you want to do, and put it inside the comment section. And if you like this video, guys, watch it through YouTube and thumbs up. Cool beans. Have a chilled weekend. Bye bye.